Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mike Noon for commentary.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to, you guessed it, the American Grand Prix here for TGP1. It's round number 12, and what an exciting season this is proving to be. And will the excitement reach super-sized levels here in the States? We're in Austin, we're at the Circuit of the Americas, and we've got hopefully a fantastic race coming up. We had a great one last time out in Canada. Dollars in the championship to now just 12 points. Matt, on the other hand, lost out some ground, pitted early, thinking the rain was not going to come till very much later on. It didn't, and it cost him and Softy dearly. Matt ended up in 4th. Phil Bargewell made an inspired decision and worked his way up from 10th to, in the end, wind up on 3rd place, going on to the wets, which at the beginning of the stint looked like a very bad choice, but towards the end of the race it worked out for the Red Bull driver, and he ended up on the podium. It was a disaster, however, for some drivers, notably Luca Chiapelli crashing into the wall at turn 3. Jamie and Owen's race barely lasted longer than a few corners, ending up crashing together into turn number 6, I think it was, no, turn number 6. And but it was a good day for Renault, picking up some great points for their constructors' fight and being able to extend their lead at the top of the constructors' standing. So, with just over 3 minutes left of qualifying, we've got Odems at the moment, 4/10 of a second nearly clear of Matt in second. Tarnat Sastinen was very briefly as fast as the lot in the first couple of laps. He's down in 3rd. James O'Connor, disastrous race for him last time. That was looking so good, and then made an uncharacteristic spin. We don't know what caused it or what happened, but he ended up finishing down in 8th. Jack Pearson in 5th, the 2 Toro Rosso. He's the current leader of the Toro Rossos, actually, with Softy down in 6th. He's going to want to improve on his lap time pretty swiftly. Jonas, the championship leader, way down in 7th, but as we've seen from most races so far this year, his first stint on the qualifying is never normally as good as his second lap. He just turns it up an extra notch and gets a little bit extra out of the car that we all want to see. Then we have Phil Bargewell down in 8th at the moment, and Martin in 9th. Paul McGuinness rounding out the top 10. So he's going to want to make some ground after a disastrous race for him in the last race we had. Chiapelli, the first of the Saubers, in 11th. Owen's going to want to make up for a very swift Canadian Grand Prix, but he's down in 12th at the moment, just on an outlap. Demon Ash in 13th. Dom Smith in 14th. Great 10th place for him last time out. And Kim is not a champion, but he still put it in the Wall of Champions, and at the moment backs up the pack at the moment. So drivers now coming out of the pits are on outlaps for their last runs, and well, I think it's going to be very interesting to see if anyone can challenge Odems. Currently 4/10 clear, as we said at the top, and we suspect might still be able to go quicker. So we're just going to watch Jack Pearson at the moment, see what sort of lap time he can do. Taking a lot of curb through the first few corners, so you can get away with it. And through sector 1, has done a 25.0. Not getting any comparisons to his personal best, but the Toro Rosso driver enjoying at the moment a lofty position in 5th. And will he be able to extend himself higher and challenge for a top of front row position on the grid? Coming down to the long back straight. Well, I say straight, it sort of curves all the way down to the tricky braking zone that brings us into the stadium section, So will Jack Pearson then heavy on the brakes, as we've seen someone move. Phil Bargewell move up to the 4th place on 33.5. We'll get another lap in. Jack Pearson's run wide in the meantime, and through sector 2 then we'll have to straighten the car up swiftly and into this tricky left-hander now. So difficult to get on the power here, but now onto this long right-hander, takes us towards the final couple of turns. Softy has done a 32.9, just 3,000 slower than Odems, and that's as quick as he's going to go. Jack Pearson then through the final couple of corners, who comes up to the last corner now. The Toro Rosso driver, is he going to be able to match his teammate's time or get anywhere near it? Jack Pearson to the line, goes 6th. No, not great from Jack there, but he's going to get another run, but will he take it? We won't know. He won't, as he bins it in turn 1. Odems goes 3/10 quicker. We said he could probably go faster, and he has. We're now watching Matt as he starts his flying lap through sector 1. Is he going to be up or down? His personal best is 25.1 through sector 1. this tricky right-hander now to this quick left at the top of the hill, coming down the hill towards a tricky braking zone. The left-hand turn. It takes us on to the start-finish straight. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. James O'Connor's gone into third. I don't know what the yellow flag is for. Paul McGuinness is going wild for something or other. But where's Matt? Matt then coming towards the end of the long straight. What's his sector 2 time going to be in relation to everyone else? He's done I don't know if that's accurate. So then, into the tricky braking zone on the left-hand side. Power down, is going to want to try and make as much ground up as possible. As we said, now is just 7/10 of a second off of Odems. Jonas is still way down there, or he was. He's now gone 5th, but that's as best he's going. He's definitely not out-qualifying his teammate. And is his teammate going to push himself onto the front row? Coming up to the line, Matt does a 32.8, which is good enough for the front row, but not good enough to get ahead of Odems. So we see plane going in the background. Odems is on another lap and goes quicker, 32.4, leaving no time on the table at all. Owen coming up to the final couple of corners now. Is he going to improve on his 12th best lap time at the moment? Up to the line, he goes 11th, pushes himself up a couple of places, and we've just got Dom Smith we're waiting for now into the last corner. And it's not a good enough lap for Dom. He's going to be 14th. And we definitely had a status, a stamp being put on that qualifying session from Odems, who, as we said, went nearly 4/10 of a second quicker than anyone else. Matt joins him on the front row, crucial for him to be up there. Softy lends up in 3rd. James, great qualifying performance from him. He's really found some form since joining Ferrari in 4th. Jonas, championship leader, down in 5th. Disastrous for him. 6th place is Silent Assassin. 7th for Phil Bardwell. 8th for Martin. 9th, Jack Pearson. It was looking so good for him at one point. Paul McGuinness down there in 10th. Disastrous qualifying for him. Owen in 11th. Mr. Chiapelli in 12th. Demon Ash 13th. Dom Smith in 14th. And Rebel Kim in 15th. Let's hope the drivers have got their eye in then for this 3.4 mile circuit. Skip. As they're getting comfy. The grid kids are greeting them out to their cars as we all get ready for what will hopefully be another exciting race. And it's already a very exciting season. And let's see if anything's kicked off between the drivers. We saw Matt commemorating Odems on his lap. Great to see that there. Great respect there for the top 2 drivers. Will they show each other respect into turn 1? Of course, with Matt on the inside line. Is he going to be able to have a run into turn 1? We're about to find out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights in America. Martin's got a drive-through penalty for a jump start and is not thinking about stopping. And we're underway now. And Matt's jumped the start as well. Disastrous. And Softy's now going to have a look at the inside of Odems, is he? Yes, he is. There's a bit of contact. There's banging wheels. We've got a McLaren diving in there as well. There's some front wing that's been lost. But Matt is currently the leader of the race, but with a drive-through penalty, it's disastrous for him. I wonder if that was caused by Martin's severe jump start. Jonas is struggling.
What the fuck, Silent Assassin? I'm out.
Jonas is off. And he's out. Jonas is out of the race.
Right.
Championship leader.
Well, Silent Assassin, you're a fucking
He's out of the race, and it's a disaster for him. As his teammate streaks clear, but with this penalty, he's going to really hinder him. Softy's under pressure from Phil, who's under pressure from Assassin. They're nearly 4 wide into the hairpin. Softy's cleared the back of Odems and lost some of his front wing. This jars off. Odems is round. He's at the back. Odems is down to 8th. Delight for Jonas on the sidelines. Silent Assassin's moved up into the second.
Safety car, safety car.
We have a safety car. And, that'll bring a little bit of calm to the storm. It's not a commonplace for hurricanes in Texas, but one has definitely come along in the opening few corners of this race. And we've already lost Jonas. We've got 2 jump starts. We've got damage to Silent Assassin's wing. We've got damage to Softy's wing. We've got Odems down in 8th. We've got James in 6th. Phil, who had a great start as well, was involved in that little shindig. Seems to have got away with any damage. Has Odems got any damage? I'm trying to have a look. He does on the left-hand side of his front wing. There does appear to be damage. And will we see some of these drivers with the damage peel into the pits to try and get it repaired? The issue now, of course, is Matt is coming to the pits as well. I don't know if he's going to try and change it. He's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Matt's having a disastrous race. He's now ended up with 2 drive-through penalties. It's not going well for him as they're all trying to brake to get under the 50-mile-an-hour mark. There's going to be some queuing in the pit lane. As actually all the drivers, apart from Chiapelli and Kim, have pitted. So Luca Chiapelli, for the first time, leads a TGP1 race. And that could have been a bit of a masterstroke from him. At the end of the day, we've only just started the race. All these drivers who have come in are going to have to pit again anyway, most likely. So, has that been a bit of a masterstroke from those 2 drivers? Matt does lead them coming out the pits, but as we know, has got the penalty. Paul McGuinness is up to 4th. Fantastic from him. Man who started 10th was moaning prolifically after qualifying. Now finds himself in 4th. Softcop's in 5th. Phil's 6th. Silent Assassin with that wing change is down in 7th. Then we've got Dom Smith in 8th, Odem's down in 9th, Owen 10th, Martin, the original jump starter, in 11th, Jack Pearson in 12th, James O'Connor down in 13th, disaster for James, and Demon Ash is in 14th. So let's see the drivers who have pitted then. So as we said, it's everyone bar the top 2 who have come into the pits, and despite from those 2, the real winners at the start have been Dom Smith up 6 places, and of course, as we said, Paul McGuinness also up 6 places. So let's have a look at the tyres throughout the grid then. So we've got Matt and Paul have gone to the softs. Softy has been brave and gone to the super softs. We've got Phil and Assassin on the softs as well. Dom Smith and Odems on the super softs. Owen on the softs. And then further down we've got Martin, Jack and James all on the super softs, and then Demon Ash on the soft. So I'm assuming those drivers who have gone on the soft tyres are going to hope to try and make it to the end of the race. But we know the tyre wear around here can be a particular issue with the lot of high-speed corners. It can be a real issue for some of the drivers. And then we also got the added equation of when Matt and Martin going to do their drive-through penalties. And we know Matt's got 2, so he's got double the issue. And he's going to want to have probably another safety car after he's served both of those. But I think it'd be. I don't know. Can they do it as soon as the safety car's peeled in?
No.
To my knowledge, they can.
Yeah.
They
Why
can do it.
Drive-through?
They
Why
can
has
do
Matt
it
got
as soon
a
as they do. So Matt has got 2 drive-through penalties from his jump start and speeding under the safety car, which I don't think he was, but unfortunately he's got one. I think that was when he peeled off into the pits. And we've also got Martin, who's got a drive-through penalty. Owen's now got a drive-through penalty for ignoring yellow flags. And let's have a little look, see what is going on then. So instance-wise, yes, so we have drive-throughs, as we said, for Martin and Matt. Another drive-through for Matt for speeding under the safety car, and a drive-through for Owen for ignoring yellow flags. So, and with John as out of this race, his main rivals are faltering. And just like in Austria, just when you need those said drivers to have good races, something seems to happen to put pay to that. But as said, we have the ever popular Italian Manxman out in the lead at the moment. We're going to try and get some words with Luca. Luca, first time for everything, first time leading a TGP1 race. It was going to come at some point, and well, here we are. But how do you feel?
Well, I feel a bit nervous, to be honest. I know everybody else pretty much pitted except for Red Bull Kim, but yeah, I'm hoping that this might pay off slightly. I went for alternate strategy at the start of the race anyway, so
yeah.
Anything could happen. Anything could happen. I just hope that nobody goes into the back of me on the restart, because last time that happened was a TGP race in Japan with Owen Quimby. So we'll see what happens anyway.
So Luca, looking at you at the moment, I'm just trying to work out when you're going to come into the pits. So what's the plan at the moment? How do you approach this?
Sorry, I've just had some team radio from Jeff. Say that again.
I was just wondering. I'm just looking at you at the moment. I'm just wondering when you're going to come into the pits. I mean, you know, what's the plan?
The thing is, it's important. You've just got to work it out correctly as to when it's going to come. It's quite cleverly, you know. You see all of these strategies, but you just got to stick with it. You just got to stick with it and just go with the flow.
You just got to go with it sometimes, Luca, and at some point you do go past the point of no return. Well, good luck. The restart's about to happen, and the Sauber driver finds himself in the lead, and the top two, if you'd said this was going to be the top two after lap 1, I would have bitten your arm off, because we've got Chiapelli in first, Kim in second, two very racy drivers. Are we going to see any mishaps into turn 1? Both of them very ready to get going. Luca's dropped the hammer. Here we go. Matt's going to want to get past Kim as soon as possible and try to move into the last turn. Does he? No. Kim runs a little bit wide and Matt on the exit has got through. Paul McGuinness is going to have a little look now and Lucas streaking clear. Further back, Phil's struggling a little bit with some of the cars. Silent Assassin's having a look up the inside of him now. Paul's having a look up the inside of Matt and gets the job done. Silent Assassin up the inside of Phil gets the job done as well. Pushes Phil a little bit wide. You're allowed to do that. And gets the job done. Is now sitting pretty behind Softy. Further up, Lucas still in the lead. Matt has managed to get back past Paul on the get-go. Softy now around the outside of Kim. Gets the job done as well. Kim struggling. As Silent Assassin's hit the back of him and lost some of his front wing. Disaster for Silent Assassin. But he has got past Kim. Next to do it is Phil. Phil also gets past Silent Assassin now, I think, coming out to the hairpin. Kim's dropping back like a stone. Now Dom's having a look up the inside of him. Kim's trying to be brave on the brakes. Don't think he should be a hero today. As Phil is still battling with Silent Assassin then, this little bunch of cars. Phil's pushing Silent Assassin on the main straight. Odems is now just behind them. We've got a cluster of cars in the background. There's Kim and Jack involved in that. Phil around the outside of Silent Assassin. Silent Assassin says no thank you as Odems get past the Red Bull in the meantime. As Phil then up the inside. Block passes Odems, pushes him wide. But Odems, will he get the run out the corner? No, he doesn't. Further back, Jack Pearson struggling a little bit with Kim. Kim's having to go a little bit defensive. And Jack runs into the back of Dom. Dom runs into the back of James. Kim runs into the back of everyone. And most people have lost a bit of front wing by now. Chiapelli, though, still holding his own out in front. Is he? No, he's not. Mate. No, Matt's got him. Disaster. What happened?
He just went flying up the inside like an absolute madman. Torpedo. There was just no point in defending it. I was going to lose front wing.
And Softy's trying up the inside of Paul. And has he got the job done? Not quite on the exit there. Demon Ash's got a 5-second stop and go penalty. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. Jack Pearson and Ash have both had to pit. I don't know if they're related incidents. And Lucas struggling a bit, as is Softy, as is Paul. This is allowing Matt to get ahead.
Come on, Chiapelli, come on. Come on.
What we have to remember, of course, Matt's got 2 drive-throughs. Luca hasn't stopped yet. For the real battle, it's the battle for third. Try and get that in your heads. It's difficult for me as well, I know. Coming in now onto the long straight, Luca is going to be compromised. I don't think the RS has been enabled yet, but these two are all over the back of the Manxman. Down the main straight then, Paul will be looking to get past him sooner rather than later. Softy won't want to wait around for too long. Paul then round the outside of Luca. Is he going to be able to get the job done? I've gone the wrong way on my camera system. Luca's still there. Paul's still there as well. Look, excuse me, the inside of the right-hander. And the Scotsman has got the job done on Luca. Is Luca going to try a cheeky little move? Softy's going to try a cheeky little move, but that doesn't quite work out. And Luca's still on the inside there. Softy's going to have to watch as he turns in, but I think he's got the job done, has he? They're getting very close. Luca's back ahead. They both run a little bit wide, and this is now letting Paul Scarper off. And Matt now pits to serve his drive through.
Owen's out!
Owen's out.
He hit Marquez and spun round into the barriers.
Owen is still going, but lost some of his front wing. Matt does his drive-through. Paul takes the lead. And Softy's all over the back of Luca. And is he going to have to go into turn 1? No, he's not.
Paul leads the race.
Softy taking a lot of curbs. Silent Assassin still keeping up with it at the moment. We've got yellow flag in sector 3. Martins has taken the fastest lap of the race. I feel like an auctioneer at the moment. Softy's all over the back of Luca. Is there going to be a move made? Is he going to repeat his move he made on Kim through the end of 1? No, he's not. Luca's still there. And in fairness to Luca, is holding on very nicely. Bearing in mind these people all put tyres on around about, well, effectively at the same time he did. Luca started on fresh tyres. So effectively, Luca actually is in this race. Apologies, Luca. But Owen's got a 5-second stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's going from bad to worse for Owen. Jack Pearson's back in the pits. He's having a disastrous race. Odems is up to 6th. Ahead of Phil now. It's going to hope to be trying to close in on James as into the hairpin they come. The top 4 all less than a second behind each other. Luca's not letting Paul go. Softy is not getting Luca out of sights, and Silent Assassin is keeping all of them in check, but as we know, has got a little bit of damage to his front wing, so he's going to be struggling. So maybe when the cork in the bottle is out, you have to say out of these lot, Softy's the quickest. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Oh, it's a big crash. Owen and Jack have had an enormous accident. I caught the end of that, but both cars are out on the spot. Is that going to be another safety car? I tell you what though, Softy is trying to move up the inside of Luca into turn 1, is he?
Oh, Softy, what the hell was that?
And Softy gets the job
poor
done.
driving from Softy. Very poor driving.
Luca's not very happy over the team radio. Softy will say otherwise, I'm sure, as they come into the yellow flag zone now. The incident has now been cleared. We're happy to hear both drivers, I think, are okay.
Nico Rosberg
Softy is now unleashed to have a go at Paul, and Paul's lead could very soon come under threat. And I tell you what, now the top 5 are all separated by less than a second to each other, but Chiapelli has started to drop back and now got Silent Assassin all over his rear end, and Softy is now all over the lead. Softy is going to have to go for the attack. Paul's going to have to go defensive. These stupid camera angles, I can't see what's going on. Paul background, Silent Assassin has got past Luca. Luca's starting to drop a bit now, but we do wonder how everyone else on the super soft tyres is going to last. James trying a little bit on the inside of Luca
James.
and gets the job done. And
Why
Luca
fucking
Softy
wait?
is having a move on Paul up the inside, and job done. Is it Paul's holding on to the inside line? Softy runs one. Paul will have DRS going up to turn 1. Is he going to? I think he should. Does he? No, he doesn't. Gets close, but does not close enough to make him back. James O'Connor did set the fast to that very briefly, but Odem's very swiftly. Odem's up to 6th, and now the next person to try and have an attack of Luca Chiapelli, who is really struggling on those tyres, and Odem's I think has got him already, has he? Not quite. Luca holds on to that inside line. This is costing Odem's a bit of time, but you have to say he should be able to get past the Sauber driver pretty swiftly. Is he going to try into the hairpin, or will he wait until the main straight? Luca has to cover the inside, but Odems is still there up the inside. He outbrakes himself a little bit. Lucas comes back and there's a little bit of contact. But which one's going to get DRS? It's going to be Odems. And further up there's no changes, but the battle at the moment is between 5th and 6th. Odems is going to have to go the long way round Luca. Luca late on the brakes, tries to get as much as possible, and fairness to Luca, holds on for the time being. This is dropping in the clutches of Phil. Odems around the outside now, runs a little bit wide, now has the traction where he needs it, and Odems moves up into 5th place. And Lucas down to 6th, and there's a bit of contact, and Lucas round. Oh, disaster for the Sauber driver. He drops to 7th. He's going to drop behind Dom. Dom has to take evasive action. But Luca, in a couple of laps, has gone from 1st to 8th. And it's a disaster for the Sauber driver. But it's not over yet. Paul has already dropped to a 2.5 behind Softy and has now got Silent Assassin for company. Silent Assassin is the meat between a Ferrari sandwich, and despite his front wing damage, is determined to take this race to the top few. I'd love to know what sort of state Softy's tyres are in, or at least what they're going to be in about 5 laps time. Through the S's, Silent Assassin up the inside, can't get the move done there. Now around the outside, this long right-hander, he's holding on, and James is holding on to the two of them. A poor exit from Paul, and Silent Assassin's where he needs to be, and there's contact, and they're both in the wall.
Oh, you idiot.
Silent Assassin's out. Paul, I'm not sure if he's got damage, he must have a little bit. But Silent Assassin is the latest casualty of a dramatic race. Paul is now having to defend like crazy from Odems.
Surely that's a safety car.
That's just gifted Odems a title lead.
And Paul is having to defend, but Odems has done enough, I think, to take 3rd place.
Go on, I've got.
And there we go. Some more drama, some more action. Just when we thought we were running low. So your top three then, as it stands: Softy, James, O'Connor. Great race from him so far in second place. Odems in third. Those three all on the super soft tyres, but will they make it to the end? Paul McGuinness is the highest of the soft tyre runners in fourth, having just had a little bit of an incident, and he has got some damage I can see in his front wing there. Phil Bargewell, the next on the soft tyres, in fifth. Dash moves Dom Smith up to sixth. Chip Helly's run very wide in seventh. Surely he's going to be pitting very soon, is he? He doesn't pit yet. Martin is in eighth. Matt, I know he's definitely served one drive through. I don't know if he served the other or if he had to, but is currently sat in ninth. And it's the two people who made jump starts that are currently batting over eighth place. Demon Ash, good race so far from him in 10th. Red Bull Kim holding on to his own and keeping out of the walls in 11th. As we look further up the grid then, and Odems is closing in on James corner by corner, and surely we're going to see an attempted move at least from the Haas driver. Wow, I don't really know where to start with this race. We've had action here, there and everywhere. It's all been in that sort of, in that S's period, all the incidents so far. That's where John has retired, that's where Jack and Owen had their incident, and that's where Paul and our Silent Assassin had theirs. So we've lost 4 drivers, as we said, just left with the 11 survivors, as we shall call them, in 4 laps. About, we'll see them slog it out to see who is going to take top spot. But further back, Matt is all over the back of Martin, and I say all over the back of Martin, he's now at the inside of Martin and ahead of Martin, but Martin's keeping his own on the inside for the next turn. Is he going to make a lunge? Yes, he is. Matt's going to try and hold it around the outside. Martin puts a fantastic block pass on him to move up back into 8th place. But Matt is going to want to swiftly get past Martin. Martin goes a little bit wide there, squeezes Matt. Odem sets the fastest lap. Matt loses some of his front wing. And is he going to try and make a move into the last turn? No, he's not, and he's pretty much pushing that Mercedes along, and does make a move now ahead of the Mercedes driver, who's had a spin. Is he going to catch it? Just about. Well held there from the man. I don't actually know where Martin's from. Sorry, Martin. You're from England. We'll leave it at that.
Hey!
Kent!
We got you here.
Kent! Christ.
Don't get Kent, Mike.
Meanwhile, we've got
very
Phil.
nearly just spun.
Phil is all over the back of Paul in the battle for 4th place in the, we'll call it the GT race. The drivers on the soft tyres. Coming now onto the main straight. Phil's going to have DRS. Paul struggling with his damage from his incident with Odems, Silent Assassin on DRS now. Phil Bargewell is going to have a look at the inside. Odems had a little look at the inside. James wasn't close enough. Was Phil going to be close enough to have a look? No, he's not. Paul makes a very late call to go defensive. We'll lose him some time. Chiapelli's got a penalty back in 9th. Dom Smith, a little shout out to Dom, running in 6th place at the moment. Fantastic drive from the Sauber driver. Into this tricky left-hander then. Phil pushing Paul along. Further up, Odems is pushing James along. 2 Ferrari drivers struggling at the moment to keep the other drivers they're battling with behind. Odems is going to have a look into the final corner. Yes, he is. There's a little bit of contact between the two of them. They're still rubbing wheels. Odems gets out of it. He's going to have DRS, and now James sits in the DRS and the slipstream of the Haas driver. Is he going to make a lunge into turn 1? No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. No, yes, he does. The contact, and he pushes Odems wide. Oh, dear. Jonas is clapping or fapping as James moves back into 2nd place.
I can assure you that was not me.
Oh, and Phil is still all over the back of Paul. Well, it's the Battle of the North, and Phil is trying to win it.
I hope Phil doesn't hit Paul again.
Holds on, but Phil is trying everything he can to get ahead. Not this again. Not again. Not again. They've survived.
Sorry,
Phil then into the left-hander, gets the move done, little block pass, and 3 goes into 4th place. He's going to have DRS, but Paul, if I said he was in the slipstream, it would be an understatement. He's practically building Phil's car for the next race. He's that close. Is he going to make a move into the hairpin? No, he doesn't. His damage to his wing is too severe, and for now, at least, I think we'll hold on to 5th, as Odems has now got ahead of James for sure. And that, I think, is going to be that. These two are now 8.6 seconds off of Softy, who ever since getting past Luca, nice little block pass he put past him into turn 1, has done a little bit of an easy ride, and now we're starting his penultimate lap as Odems nearly has a spin.
Point out there was a lot of argue between Odems and James has lost quite a bit of front wing.
Matt's about to get
Has lost a bit of front wing as my
a lot
camera
of
cuts to a shot of his
going
front
on.
wing.
Matt's about to grab
I
6.
wonder if Phil's going to be able to close up because of this. Wow, wow. Phil could be poised to take a second, third place of the night. I mean, I hope for James's sake that he stays on there. He deserves a podium finish. But if Phil can get close enough, you have to fancy his chances. And both Ferraris at the moment struggling with front wing issues. And Phil has closed the gap dramatically already. It's now down to 1.8 seconds as they come to the main straight. Phil's not close enough to get DRS yet, but definitely next lap he's going to be close enough. Dom Smith picks up a 3-second penalty after just being passed by Matt. Not a bad recovery drive from Matt. Now moving to 6th place. That's 9 points for his title charge. Oh, James has lost a huge amount of front wing. I see what you mean, Joe. Disastrous. And Phil, during this sector, in the first sector, is going to really reel in that Ferrari driver like a salmon. It is salmon fishing they do in the north, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, it's salmon. Oh, ask Phil. Hook, he's got his bait, and at the moment it's just waiting for the nibble from James as Softy starts his last lap. And we all know what Phil will want to happen, but will his want turn into a happen? We'll find out. Phil now just 8 tenths of a second behind James, and is surely going to have DRS on this lap. And through the third sectors where we know James will struggle. James on the super soft tyres as well. His tyres will be screaming for this all to end, and will his podium chances end with it? Phil, oh, he clips the curb and runs wide, and he's got away with that, I think. But he's now just 6 tenths, now 3 tenths behind James. He is all over the back of the Ferrari driver and using every bit of curb as well. Is he going to be able to make a move into the hairpin before the long straight? He's definitely going to think about it, but doesn't yet. He's poising himself to try and take a second podium tonight. Phil Bargewell, James is going to have to go defensive, and he does immediately, covering the inside line. The DRS flap opens on Phil's car. He's picking up all the dirt and the rubble on the track. Is he going to make a late dive down the inside? No, he's not. He's going for the outside line. No, he does go for the inside. A Daniel Ricciardo-esque move, and Phil Bargewell moves into 3rd place. And that was a fantastic move from Phil. But meanwhile, Softy has done everything right in this one. And he took his first win just a couple of weeks ago. And here at the Circuit of the Americas, a track he's not overly fond of, he rounds the last corner to win his second round of the season. Softy then wins in America. Odems, a fantastic recovery drive. He's had everything thrown at him tonight and this season, and now takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Phil Bargewell, a fantastic move on the last lap, will take 3rd. James will be disappointed with 4th, you have to say. Paul McGuinness comes home in 5th. Matt, after his disastrous first 5 seconds, will finish in 6th place. Dom Smith is going to come home in 7th. And Martin will be 8th. Chiapelli, it all looks so promising for him, but he's going to finish in 9th place. Goes right at the last corner and comes home to take 9th. Demon Ash, we're going to have to wait about half a minute for, so talk amongst yourselves for a little while. We just wait for Ash. Go make a cup of tea, maybe. Sole remaining McLaren, after his teammate got involved in an incident with Paul, which I'm sure will be debated by the stewards later on. Coming now into the final turn, Ash is going to take 10th place. He goes wide at that corner. It's oil on the track? Or are they all just retards? What's going on, guys? It's not hard. You've done it for the rather 13 laps. Wrong was the last one.
Sorry to about to smash the Renault, but I forgot it was the outlap.
And Red Bull Kim then. Last but not least, a fantastic 11th place for Kim. He was running 2nd, his highest positioning in a TGP1 race. He rounds the last corner to finish 11th. And that has been your American Grand Prix. And I hope you've enjoyed it just as much as I have. Because that has definitely been a classic. As they come to the podium now. Where are they? Tension builds. There they are. Softy wins again. Great result from him to take the top step. Taros Mechanics going wild. Softy raises his arm, raises his finger, his middle finger towards Luca. Sorry, no. Index finger for the win, sorry, obviously. Softy covers everyone in his juices and enjoys the podium celebrations. That did not come out right. Odems takes a fantastic... So let's have a rundown of the order then. Softy wins the American Grand Prix. Odems joins him on the podium. Good result from him. He'll be pleased with that, I think, in the end, despite everything. Phil Bardwell comes home third even, after a fantastic last lap lunge on James, who came home fourth, where he qualified. Paul McGuinness up to fifth. Could have been so much more. Matt in sixth, also could have been so much more. Dom Smith in seventh, and we had Martin in eighth, Luca in ninth, D-Mash in 10th, Kim in 11th place. Silent Assassin crashed out in 12th. Jack Pearson in 13th, had an incident with Owen in 14th, and then right at the bottom was your former championship leader with Jonas in 15th. So what another fantastic week of TGP1 this has been. We look forward now to next week, where we are at Azerbaijan and Russia. This has been Say Sports. I've been Mike Noon. Be on PS4.